The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And Crystal, today we're going to have an amazing show.
Yeah, we're class in session again. It's
Class
kind of like
in
you kind of
session.
like this with no guests.
Oh, yeah.
And I've just been so crazy busy, and I've actually put out some requests for some guests, but you know they're taking their little time. But that's okay because we know how to do what we do.
That's what I'm talking about. And when they're not around, we get to disseminate a lot more information for our small businesses. So that's great.
Yeah, so that's really cool. So how was your week?
Oh, my week has been amazing.
Oh, good.
I've done quite a bit of different stuff with working with small businesses, getting ready for a workshop for next Tuesday with GLAC.
Okay.
And this is going to be a certification workshop. So we're going to help, and we want this to be the last of the year. So we want to get as many small businesses certified as possible by the end of 2019.
Well, that's cool. That's a nice goal.
Oh, yes.
Everybody needs to be positioned so that for 2020, that's kind of what I've been preparing all my clients with, and RBD members is preparing for 2020.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's here already, so there's nothing we can do. In fact, right after right after Halloween, they already got Christmas decorations up at all the stores.
I know. I've seen that.
Yeah.
They're playing the Christmas songs.
They're already ready. So it's like, wow. Wherever I was the day after Halloween, I went into a store and the trees were, I was at the mall, the Baldwin Hills Plaza. The trees were up. The Christmas tree is up. The Santa station is up.
Unbelievable.
And the day before, I had been in there. Because I had been in there for Thanksgiving. I had been in there for Halloween.
Yes.
Earlier that day to get my nails done.
Yeah.
And so now it was all Halloween stuff. And then the kids were all there. They were, doing the trick-or-treating from store to store. Directly the next day is Christmas. Like, what happened to Thanksgiving? we completely skipped Thanksgiving. So they are reared up and ready to go early.
Yes.
So this year is gone. So 2019 is done, and everybody should be looking at preparing for 2020. Hey, Maxine, how are you?
That's what our small businesses should be doing as well. As soon as Halloween comes around, they should be planning for the Thanksgiving series and the Christmas series. They should be doing that too.
They should be doing that. Then for those of us that are consultants, our business is pretty much shut down. Like the first part of right after Thanksgiving, our business. Nobody's concerned about no business development or improvement.
That's right.
They're concerned about food and shopping. That's it.
And that's why, as consultant, one of the things that we need to do is to start planning for the new year. And also start organizing our paperwork or record keeping and try to close out the year.
That's why I always do a QuickBooks class at the end of the year and the first of the year, because that's where you should be right now, is talking about gathering your
You might want to tell the audience about your upcoming QuickBooks class.
Well, actually, my upcoming QuickBooks class started last night.
Oh, okay. So tell us a little bit about it.
So this class is geared to, the earlier part of the year, I did a basic QuickBooks and taking people through setting up their QuickBooks and so that they could be using it and not waiting to the end of the year to start gathering all their financial information for tax purposes, right? So this was really an advanced class based upon those that were in that class. Of course, those that were in that class didn't sign up for this class.
Right.
So what I'm focusing in is on understanding financial statements and what goes into them, the chart of accounts.
Yeah.
So we're going to come back in it. So some of the people that are there that was there last night,
Yeah.
they have no knowledge of QuickBooks. So we're going to take them in through the back way. So understanding why they need it,
Right.
and understanding accounting principles and lingo and language, which they still need, because if they're going to go look for funding and certification, you got to be able to speak the language, right?
Exactly.
You got to understand why they're looking at your balance sheets and so forth. So that's so last night started out, we kicked off with just talking about accounting as a whole and what it was about and terminology. So next week we're going to jump into managing your inventory and sales. And then the week after that, we're going to get into customizing financial reports.
That's great. That's great. So, see, they need someone like you as a coach to coach them along, because as we know, many small businesses do not want to do,
somebody calling in, so of course they kicked out your show.
I know.
Yeah, most businesses, which is amazing to me. This is the thing. And today, guys, our topic is going to be on the power of entrepreneurship and how it can close our wealth gap. So that's what our class is kind of about today. Hey, Mo, how you doing? Hey, James.
Hey, Natasha, Robin,
and
Janice.
who else is here? Bert.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Yes. So I have never understood, because I became an entrepreneur for many reasons, and we're going to talk about those in a little while. Mm-hmm. But one of them was I had complete control over my potential to make money.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so if I was going into it for that reason, then it kind of goes, it's part of the territory to understand where that money's going and how that money's being spent, and what you need to do in order to continue to grow your business. And so it only makes sense that you really want to know about your finances. So that has always baffled me why people are so hesitant when it comes to understanding the most important part, the foundation of your business.
It makes sense to you and I as coaches that the small business should know a lot about their finances, but to them, they're going, hey, that's not my space. That's not my lane. I don't want to be a part of that. I'd rather bring in a bookkeeper. I'd rather bring in an accountant. Let them deal with that. Then only when I need to go to the bank or pay my taxes at the end of the year, then that's when I will deal with that type of issue, which is the wrong approach.
Well, yeah, because here's the reason I get called in is because they've used that philosophy.
Yes.
And because they didn't know, so they didn't know what they were getting as a bookkeeper, right?
Exactly.
So if you have a bookkeeper that, they can invoice for you, they can record your receivables when they come in, they can pay some bills.
Right.
But when it comes to you needing, wanting to grow your business, and then somebody asks you a question about your financial statement, and they're like, I don't know. No
information
and
whatsoever.
They can't tell you. They can't teach you how to read it. They can't. So now you got a problem, because it really, ultimately, it comes down to, it's your business. Why don't you know more about it?
And that's why we are doing what we're doing with these small businesses and trying to get them bank loan ready, and also understanding the finances. You don't have to know a lot about finances. What we'll do is just teach you the basics so that you can understand how this really works. So it's an amazing thing.
It's amazing. And I spoke last weekend at the Bella Network conference, and one of the things I said was, me personally, where I am, I'm more of a troubleshooter or a forensic bookkeeping. My practice is more about forensics, on identifying the problems and fixing them, and then teaching you how to do it, or teaching someone in your office how to do it. And then I want in and out. I don't really necessarily want to be there. There's some clients that I have that I love. I've had them for 10 years. I got them well trained, so I'll keep them. But other than that, that's my goal. Get in, out, train whoever I need to train.
I hear that.
And they have the same philosophies that I do, and then I'm gone. So, because I think, obviously you have to be, ultimately it's your responsibility. It's your business. It's your responsibility to know exactly how it works.
Exactly.
And but making sure that, and if you're going to hire somebody, making sure you have a basis for what you need them to be able to do for you. And so we teach them all of that.
And that's why today we want to talk about global entrepreneurship. And we want to show many of you, how this global entrepreneurship will work with you and for your business. And before we kick that off, I want to go over some opportunities because, as you know, here on the Business Zone, one of the things that we do is to provide opportunities to you, the small business owners out there, that you wouldn't otherwise obtain. So based on our partnership with the Urban League, the LA Urban League, we've got some opportunities available, which I think that will benefit many of you guys. So I'm just going to go over some of these real quickly, and then we're going to come back to the theme of our show today, which is global entrepreneurship and how you need to utilize entrepreneurship to become more wealthy than you are. So here are some opportunities that's available right now that we're looking for subcontractors to do. We're looking for roofers, people who can do roofing, new PVC roofing. We're also looking for composite metal wall panels, someone who can do that type of work. Temporary walls and barricades, we're looking for that as well. So if you know any small business owners out there in the construction trade or other trades who can do some of these work, I would like you to give us a call here. My number is 888-882-1168. That's 888-882-1168. Please be sure to give me a call. These are opportunities, maybe not for you, but other associates of yours, other small businesses that you know. Fireproofing. We're looking for contractors who can handle fireproofing. Expansion joints, people who can handle that type of work. And we're also looking for people who assembles gypsum, Portland cement plasters. We're looking for that. We're looking for waterproofing signage, on-site and off-site signage, precast stage and stairs. We're also looking for striping. If you know a contractor who can do striping work, scaffolding, those types of things. We're looking for lumber distributor, electrical contractors, plumbers. Those are the types of opportunities that exist right now. And these opportunities are at the airport, at LAWA. So if you guys really want some serious opportunities, please give us a call. And just so you know, one of the things we're going to ask you for is your statement of qualification. So if you have a statement of qualification or a capability statement, capability statement is like your resume for your business. It's a one-page document which tells us exactly what you do. It talks about your core competencies, and it also speaks about your past performance, your value proposition, and what you can do for these contract providers. So these are opportunities that are out there. And these opportunities are with major primes like Austin and let's see who else is here. Swinnerton. Swinnerton is another partner that has opportunities available, and Hansel Phelps. So if you know any of those large prime contractors, then you know that there's a large amount of opportunities for many of you. Millwork. If you do windows, that's millwork. That's the kind of work we're looking for. If you do cabinets, that's the type of contractors we're looking for as well. Painters. If you know how to paint, if you can build lockers, you can do cleaning, some type of janitorial cleaning, final cleaning on a construction site. Those are things we're looking for. If you can install doors, those are some of the trades that we're looking for as well. Specialty doors, furniture, equipment, AC paving, landscaping, fencing, and gates. Those are some of the opportunities we're looking for. So again, if you know any contractors who can do some of these work, I want you to give us a call or have them give us a call here. We're here until 4 o'clock every Friday from 3 to 4 on the Business Zone. And my phone number here is 888-882-1168. That's 888-882-1168. And every week that we do our show, we'll have a list of opportunities for all of you. A little later on the show, we're going to talk about some opportunities for women. If you want to start a franchise or you want to start certain types of businesses, but you don't want to go through the grind, then we'll give you some tips on that also. So stay tuned. Stay tuned with the Business Zone and Crystal.
Do they have to be? So let's say if they're not certified, can they come underneath a prime and contract with them while they're going through their processes?
That's a very good question. So many of these opportunities, they're requiring certification. They want to know that you're minority certified or you're disadvantaged business certified or you're woman-owned certified. So if you have any of those certifications, you may want to tap into these opportunities. Now, if you're not certified, you can still team up with other subcontractors and do work with the prime as well.
Okay.
So you can team up and form a team. So that sub will be the first tier and you'll be the second tier subcontractor. So you can still get work on this project.
Okay, so that's cool. So, guys, again, we're all about helping you create more revenue streams. Hey, Candace, happy birthday!
Yes.
More revenue streams for your business. So, these are some of those opportunities because if you actually can get into these contracts, how can it change their lives, Gilbert?
Oh, this will change your life tremendously, at least tenfold. So whatever you're generating in revenues right now, obtaining a government contract, can increase your revenue stream tenfold. So that's really what I want you to do. So thank you guys for tuning into the show. I really, really want you guys to become more successful. All you've got to do is listen to our guidance, listen to our coaching and the advice that we're giving you. And believe me, you will succeed. This is an amazing, amazing opportunity for small businesses right now. Karen, thank you for joining the show. Meluno, Sharon, Carla, Natasha, thank you guys all for tuning in. This is great. This is amazing. Keep listening.
Right. That's what this is the purpose of the show, is to make sure that we help you make better decisions and let you know what opportunities are out there for you so that you can take advantage of them. Because a lot of times, you hear the biggest the complaint from most people is, I didn't know that these were, how come I never know that this is happening? Or when I do find out, it's too late for me to do anything. It's like the next day, right? So that's what we're doing here, is to help you know when these opportunities and give you enough time so you can apply for them and get involved and not wait to the last minute. Hey, Gerald, how are you? I assume this means if you're on Facebook Live, you're not flying a plane somewhere. You're not piloting the plane.
Is that the captain?
That's the captain.
Hey, Captain, how are you doing? I saw the captain on Saturday over at the event. It was good to see him.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. He gets around, doesn't he?
Oh, yes. So, folks, if you're listening and you're interested in these opportunities and you're thinking, okay, I would like to do this, but I don't have a capability statement or I don't have a statement of qualifications. I don't even know what those things are. And I don't even know how to put one together. Not a problem. Give me a call. I'll guide you through. I'll walk with you. I'll work with you. I'll hold your hand so you guys can do it.
Aww.
So that's a shepherd in me.
Oh, isn't that nice?
I'll hold your hands and make sure you guys get to the promised land.
And that's the kind of coaches that we are.
That's the kind of coaches we are here on the Business Zone. So make sure you give me a call at 888-882-1168. That's 888-882-1168. Give us a call. We'll help you guys to get these opportunities.
Awesome sauce. So we want to take a break and then we get into...
Yes, we'll go ahead.
Oh, did you want to talk about this?
Yes. So here's an opportunity right here. This is a workshop opportunity with OmniWorks. So OmniWorks is an economic development agency. They're a nonprofit, and they have these workshops. It's a 2-day workshop coming up November 23rd and November 25th. And this is a free 2-day workshop. It's called the Entrepreneur Blueprint for Success. And this program is going to show you a variety of different things. Remember, November 23rd and November 25th. And it's going to show you how to think like an entrepreneur, develop leadership skills, to tap your creativity and innovations, plan for success. It's going to help you to identify and acquire customers. It's going to help you to find funding opportunities, validate your business model. Now, many small businesses I know, they don't have a business model. they don't know how to develop that business model. So at this workshop, they're going to show you how to develop your business model. And now, just so you know, an effective business model has 9 components to it. There are 9 pillars to the business model. So if you're talking about business model, or people talking to you about business model and they're not talking about the 9 areas, it's not a legitimate business model. Yeah. So I just wanted to know that. So that's going to be taught here at this workshop. So if you're interested in attending this workshop, it's going to be on a Saturday, November 23rd, and it's going to be from 8:30 in the morning until 6:30 p.m. And then the next day will be Monday, November 25th. And again, that will be 5:30 in the evening until 10:30 p.m. at night. An amazing workshop. It's for free. You guys will get a certificate. And then that certificate will give you guys access. It will provide you leverage. So give me a call if you want to tap into this workshop.
So let's see. The captain is saying we need to, he's not flying. So that's a good thing, Captain. And he says we must address the American Slave Foundation before moving on. He wants to come back on the show to talk about it. He's got to go fly now, so I guess he's on his way. Well, you be safe out there, Captain.
Yes.
And we will get you back on the show so you can talk about the descendants of AmericanSlaves.com.
We'll definitely talk about that, Captain.
Yeah.
And one of our viewers here, my good friend Carla Thomas, she wants to talk a little bit about QuickBooks. She wants some information on that. So that's Crystal's area. So Crystal will give you, if you have a question on QuickBooks.
Tell her to call in. That would be
great.
Give
us a call here so we can talk to you live on the air. And the number here, as you know, is 323-293-3375. That's 323-293-3375. Give us a call here, Carla, with your question on QuickBooks so Crystal can address it for you live and direct.
Yeah, that's my space, huh? I like my space.
So as you know, the Business Zone is on every Friday from 3 to 4, and that's with Crystal and me, Gilbert, and we're going to make this thing happen for you. We want to close out the year with year with a bang for you.
You want to close out the year with a bang, huh? Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break right now, but we'll come back with some great opportunities in the global entrepreneurial space for you. So you're watching the Business Zone with
Krista
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. Take a break.
All righty.
Subcontractors and small businesses are very good at performing their craft. But when it comes to managing their paperwork and efficiently running their business, not so much. That is why Buchanan & Associates, a multiple award-winning supplier diversity business management, technical support, coaching, and compliance firm is here to help you. Buchanan & Associates possesses core competencies in small business paperwork and government compliance, back office management and business support, business infrastructure and organizational development, light rail transportation program management, assisting small businesses in packaging and submitting their minority, woman-owned, and disadvantaged business enterprise certifications. We even match you up with contract opportunities. Buchanan & Associates has delivered more than 7,500 hours of training to subcontractors by preparing them to become business-ready, contract-ready, and bank loan-ready with the ability to quickly access key documents in seconds. Buchanan & Associates help subcontractors accurately prepare, manage, and submit certified payroll, contract compliance, and labor compliance reports to primes so that they can get paid on time without delays. If you need to meet your disadvantaged business or small business enterprise participation goals, Buchanan & Associates can help you. If you need a qualified and experienced firm to oversee your subcontractors so that you can successfully complete your projects, Buchanan & Associates can help you. We help all businesses organize and set up their company the right way so that they can formally pursue
contracts. So we're back on the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan. And as you know, today's topic for our show is the global entrepreneurship, and Crystal has some great information on this. Crystal, what you got?
So we're talking about, and I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but it's been going on for many years. It's called the Global Entrepreneur. It's actually a Global Entrepreneur Week, and there are over 10 million people, 35,000 events, and 150 countries that every year in November, for the time frame, it's usually the third week in November. So this year it's November 18th to the 24th. And what they do is they spend their time connecting. They've created a vibrant ecosystem of entrepreneurs, investors, researchers, policymakers, and other startup champions in over 170 countries.
Wow, that's amazing.
So every year there's tens of thousands of events and activities and competitions that take place during Entrepreneurship Week, Global Entrepreneurship Week. So if you go onto their website, which is genglobal.org/GEW Global Entrepreneur Week, you'll see all the activities that are going on or events that are going on in your city.
Right.
You and I actually, and I signed up this morning, you actually can sign up to be a speaker.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they have opportunities for speakers, and they will send you, you can go anywhere you want to go. So, and in addition to that, so there's a speaking bureau, and so they have tens of thousands of events, and they need speakers at those events.
Oh,
and
great.
anybody here in Los Angeles, if you're a member of them, might reach out to say, hey, we want to have this event. I'd love to have a speaker that focuses on certification and procurement and supplier diversity.
I would love that.
So you really want to go to their site to do that. And as well as the nonprofits and other business organizations and chambers, you can create an event that is during that time frame or throughout the month if you want to, that is all about supporting and uplifting and strengthening the connection for the local, your local ecosystem for entrepreneurs. So one of those this week was, I spoke on Thursday for NIFTY, Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship. And you guys know that's the group that I teach. That's the program or the certified program that I teach the kids in the summertime, the youth. Hello, everybody. Hi,
Andrea.
Raymond says you want to speak. Okay, we'll get you that information. So I went and spoke to a group of kids that are at Augustus Hopkins High School on the unlocking the spirit of entrepreneurship. And for kids, that's a passion of mine, but that's also a passion of mine for my adults, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what I talked about. What is entrepreneurship all about, and how can it change the world that we live in?
Wow,
right?
That's amazing.
And so that's one of the things that the Global Entrepreneurship Week is all about, is highlighting all activities that has to do with enhancing and helping our entrepreneurs reach their highest potential.
That's amazing.
And run successful businesses.
And just so you know, while we're talking about entrepreneurship and making it global, giving you access to those opportunities, I just want to let you guys know, if you didn't know before, I want to let you know that there are 1,500 small businesses that start up every hour in the U.S. 1,500 in the U.S. That's unbelievable.
Is that
unbelievable?
But
there are currently 250,000 small businesses in Los Angeles. 250. You guys are one of those. So you want to be able to use your strategies in terms of entrepreneurship to tap into those resources. And that's why we're offering you certification and contract opportunities so you can outdo your competitors.
And actually, when I was doing my research, this is right now an entrepreneurial age, right? We've had some amazing businesses that have been created out of nothing. They were just an idea or a concept, or someone's passion. And since 2012, since the recession or the recovery after the recession, and everything from, if you look back, Uber, Lyft, Grubhub, all of those businesses came after the recession.
Yes.
Right? So those was just tremendous opportunities that are out there. So what Gilbert is saying, and I'm reading right here, more than 500 million people worldwide are either actively involved in trying to start a new venture or were owner or managers of a new business in 2012. So that's
right.
a lot of people, 500,000 people that actually start businesses. So Gilbert, what were your reasons for starting your business?
You know, my reason for starting my business, which I'm sure is very similar to many of my listeners out there, is there was a politic going on.
oh, really?
There was politics going on
No
at the agencies that I work for. And I decided, you know what? I don't want to deal with this politics anymore. Moreover, my revenue stream was being stifled. Yes, so I said, you know what? I want to be independent. Plus, I wanted to make my own money. I want to determine how much I made and not be determined by the people who I work with. They decide whether I get a raise, whether I get a promotion. I said no. Yeah. And then moreover, also, I had resources that could solve a pain in the marketplace, which I knew I was very good at, and I could solve it much better than my competitors. So I said, that's what I'm going to do, and that's how I started my business.
Yeah, and mine's a little bit different than yours, just because of the fact that I grew up with entrepreneurs, right? Yes. So it kind of was already in my blood. Yeah. But again, some things changed. So for me, the change took place when the first recession, when the S&Ls all crashed.
2008.
2008. Yeah. No, actually, that was before that. That was like in the 1990. Oh, yeah. That one, when the S&Ls, the savings and loans all kind of, that was the first one, right?
That's the one that Trump's Secretary of State, Chief of Staff there, Mulvaney. Yeah. He was involved in that. He was the one who ripped off those banks in Pasadena and other places.
Right, exactly. So he was been a crook for a long time. Yes. So that's over 30 years ago. We have very short attention spans, obviously. But I was in the financial planning industry. And I was making money. I was a salesperson. I was selling insurance products. Yes. And so what I found during that time was that if a person is going to, when you start cutting back, the areas that you cut back on, it's insurance products. Yes. Right? Because even though you shouldn't, but you do. Yes. Right? And so I was like, okay, I think I need to shore this up with something else. And then I started developing my business, and I had to think about other skills. I started acquiring other skills. So I knew while I was in corporate America, that's what I was there for. I was there to build on and let them pay for it. Yeah. All of the new skills that I needed, that I would need when I came out on my own. And I had an actual exit plan, an exit date. Right. And that's how I came out. But again, it was still for the reason I wanted complete control over my money. Oh, yeah. And if I was going to put all that effort out there, I put a quote up today on, I borrowed it for somebody on Instagram.
I think I saw it.
You saw that?
Yeah,
and it said,
it was on Facebook.
If I would rather work 16 hours for myself than 8 hours for somebody else. And so that's kind of my whole thing. Yes. I think I'm much more valuable a solo person than I am working for a company, but I do love to collaborate. Right. But that world doesn't work for me, because I don't like being stifled in my thought process, my intellect, and as well as my money making capabilities to be stifled and subbed in a box.
And that brought me to this point, which is a great point. So many of you entrepreneurs out there, I want you to think of this, okay? Most of the times, the reason a person starts a business is either because they lost their job, they have no choice, no alternative, they cannot find a job because things are difficult. Everywhere they go, there are barriers. So they usually decide that the only next best thing is for me to create my own source of revenue, and that will be starting their jobs. Most of the times that happen when the economy is bad. Now, from what I'm hearing that we're probably approaching a recession again.
I this morning I read something from the housing from Fannie Mae.
Yeah.
And they're talking about the slowing down of
the economy.
And anytime they start playing with the interest rates.
Yes.
It could potentially, and then we have just complete chaos in the political governmental world.
Yes.
And so all of those could be signs of a coming. So we need to get prepared.
So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind that whenever the economy gets bad, people lose their jobs. And when people lose their jobs, they got to sustain themselves. So then they start their own business. So when the economy gets bad, you see a spike in entrepreneurship, small business startups. So keep that in mind. You need to prepare yourself so you can ride that type of wave, sustain yourself so that you don't get caught up in the next wave of economic downturn.
And you should be thinking, if you're currently in business for yourself right now, you need to be thinking the services or the products that you're selling right now, are they recession proof? Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. And if they're not, then you need to be looking at how you can start developing some new skills. This is a good time to do it. We might be a couple years out from it,
yes.
But a couple of skills that could take you in. So, I'm developing an online course that's going to talk about taking your passions, your skills, and your talents and creating other streams of income to increase your wealth, right?
Yes.
So part of that is take an assessment of self.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, do a SWOT analysis, a personal SWOT analysis
yes.
on what your strengths are. And then with those strengths, what are the opportunities that you can be able to create another stream of income?
Right.
Because right now, if we look at the future of entrepreneurship,
yes.
it's and it's all about what you can do online,
yes.
digitally.
Yes.
Because digitally is probably not going to do too much changing, but brick and mortar probably will.
And I definitely recommend that many of you entrepreneurs become familiar with the social media environment, because that's where most of this is going right now. Most products are being sold online. Most people are getting educated online. A lot of people don't go to workshops anymore. They do webinars. So keep that in mind also. So if you're trying to promote a product or a service, that's one way of doing it. And another advantage to that is on our show, The Business Zone, which we have here every Friday from 3 to 4, we give you a platform that you can market your product and service. You can tell the world about your product and service, and that will help you to increase sales. So you want to look at the Business Zone as another platform that can help you to enhance and increase your revenue. So these are things you want to take a look at.
Exactly, for sure. Because we got to be strategic. Hey, Bobby. Hey, Michelle. We need to be strategic. We can't, like the last recession kind of shouldn't have, but it did catch a lot of people off guard,
yes.
right?
Yes.
And now you have to be listening and planning at the same time.
Yes.
So you don't have to be caught off guard. If your company is starting to make, and if your company is starting to make some definitive moves
mm-hmm.
that may not include you.
Yes.
And the way you know that is if they start having, and I'm going to tell you this because this is from when I worked in the accounting department at most in a corporate America, they start having a lot of meetings
yes.
with all the upper brass, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And if they're branched, then people start flying in from other states,
yeah.
or your boss starts to fly out to other states, and all of a sudden there's a lot of these closed door,
yes.
and folks start to look grim.
Yes, yes, yes.
And so if you are seeing any of those signs going on in your company, you need to start worrying about you.
That's right.
Right? And
That's
so
right.
some of that is, maybe it's time to capitalize on making those sweet potato pies.
That's right.
And start selling them on the side.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to make a plan.
Yes.
Trust me, I've seen it too much.
And also another thing that small businesses you might want to think of is automation. You want to automate your process. See what you can do to try to automate things. Your paperwork. Try to automate a process. Your accounting, bookkeeping, something to that effect. Make sure you automate it, because what that will do, that will minimize the amount of work that you have to do, instead of you having to actually manually doing that. So you'll spend less money on that and less time if you get to automate that process.
In fact, it's so funny because, I started my QuickBooks class, but as I was leading up to it, and I've been marketing it for a hot little minute right now, but toward the end, and it literally took 5 blasts. It took 12 blasts for me to start even getting anybody's attention when I was marketing the class, right?
Yeah.
Some I knew because one person I knew because they had actually come from the first class that I had done earlier in the year. But I've been asked, I need this to be, I need to be able to do it at my computer, at my house, because this day doesn't work for me, right? And so with that, I was like, okay, I'm in the midst of creating my online courses. I then made a swift adjustment. I reached out to my coach that I have right now and said, look, I need to do this. I've been asked, 5-6 times in this marketing phase for this class to be online. So that's what I'm switching to.
Yeah.
So my next class, which is going to come out next month, is going to be a QuickBooks online course.
Congratulations.
Because they're asking for it. So I'm going to give the people what they want.
Give the people what they want.
That's basically what you're saying, right?
Yeah, definitely. Once you automate, I'm telling you, it will make your life so much easier. It will cost you less and it will take less time. Another aspect, now we're talking about global entrepreneurship. That means entrepreneurship on a global level, not just on a national level, not just on a local community level, but we're also talking about, hey, Bud, hey, James, thank you guys for joining the Business Zone. So we're talking about entrepreneurship on a global level where not only will you generate revenues locally, but you can generate revenues international as well. Mm-hmm. In order to do that, you want to create collaborations. Okay, you want to collaborate with other entities. Now, they don't have to do exactly what you're doing. They can do similar stuff to you or something that will complement what you're doing. So you want to think about that. Now, while you're thinking about collaborating with another entity, of course, when you collaborate, it's like a marriage. You're getting married to someone. You got to do some background check on them.
Your due diligence.
Do your due diligence on them.
Don't be just razzled, dazzled, and mesmerized by some surface skills.
No, not at all. You want to check them out. Make sure that they're not going to be a burden to you credit-wise. They're not going to be a liability to your company. So make sure you check them out. And once you've checked that out, you do your due diligence and you see that this person is legit and you can collaborate with them, then you want to pursue that. Now, while you're pursuing collaboration with these folks, you want to make sure that your IP, your intellectual property, is in order. What do I mean by that? Your trademark. You want to make sure your patent, and if there are documents that you need to copyright, make sure those are in order. How many of you small businesses, how many of you have your logo trademarked? How many of you? Not too many from what I've seen, right? So anyone could come along and start using your logo and they can claim it. So you may have your logo for 10, 15, 20 years and you didn't trademark it. And someone comes along, copies your logo, and then trademark it. And guess what? They'll send you a cease and desist letter from their attorney telling you to stop using your own logo, even though it's not theirs.
And interesting enough, there was a young lady at the conference last week, the Bella Network conference, and she had a product line, a skincare, beauty, or hair care product line. Uh-huh. She did not do her research.
Wow.
On her logo. Mm-hmm. And so now she had all this product developed, all of the labels and everything ready to go.
Wow.
And she had been selling it actually, and that's how, and she was marketing it using, and this is the other thing, because we are in a digital world, you're doing your marketing, especially young people, on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and Snapchat. Well, that gives the whole entire world view of what you're doing, right?
Yes.
So you're not operating in just the United States silo.
Yeah.
So someone saw it, and it was somewhere out of the country, and that was their logo.
See?
And they had it trademarked.
Wow.
And so she had to stop.
So the other person,
Right. So
that's exactly what I'm talking about.
And now she's got to redevelop the whole thing. So
Wow.
she's going to come to a course that I'm having starting on the 18th of November to talk about, what it's going to take to start redeveloping. But so you have to look at, and that sounds like small and minor, but it isn't, because there's a lot of money that you've invested in your business to get it to a place where you have the product line already ready to go. You've done all your branding, you've done all your marketing.
Right.
And for them to even see it means that you've put a lot of money into your marketing.
Oh, yeah. And not only that, your customer base is familiar with your logo, so you've got a following based on the logo, because they see that logo, they know it's you. They know it's your product, they know it's your service.
Yeah.
So all those years of developing that customer base and that loyalty ship, you got to give it up now. So I just want to put this out there, small businesses. So it may cost you about $300 to trademark your logo. $300, right? If you bring in an attorney, it may cost you a maximum of $600, but it's going to be worth it, because if you don't do that and someone else infringes on your logo, then guess what? Now you're giving up all the years of your market recognition. You're giving up all the time and effort you put into it. Your customer base, you're going to lose that. So think of the thousands, or hundreds of thousands of dollars it's going to cost you if you didn't trademark that logo,
Right.
as opposed to spending $300.
And I think that's a valuable point that you're making, Gilbert. A lot of times when people are thinking about, having a coach or not having a coach, or spending money for marketing or advertising, they're thinking, I just can't afford that. I can't afford to do that.
Right.
But look at the efforts that you put in. So if you start figuring, okay, I can do this myself, right?
Yes.
And you go in and you put in whatever X amount of hours, and it's going to be more hours because that's not your area of expertise.
That's right.
So start calculating that based upon you being the CEO of your company.
Yeah.
And what you would, if you were working for somebody else in that same capacity, that could be $125, $200, $300 an hour.
Yes.
Now, while you're doing this stuff where you're trying to figure it out, when you could have hired somebody, that's a one time, or could be maybe 3 or 4 times at best.
Exactly.
But they probably will give you a package.
Yes.
It's going to cost you far less to do it that way than it would is for you to sit there and try to navigate through it.
Yes.
Rima says, before you get into collaborations with anyone, get your personal credit tight.
That's
and
right.
Hit me in my DM and I will help you. So, credit is important. And yes, as Gilbert said, you don't want to bring on the mate with a credit problem. You start conjoining of monies and revenue and there's taxes due and all those other little ugly things that could tie y'all all together like a marriage.
Because the thing about it is, another small business might be great at their craft and they might bring great value to your business that you can collaborate with. But at the same time, the liability level can be amazingly horrifying for you.
Horrifying, huh?
Horrifying for you. Because if that person owes the IRS taxes, guess what? And then they are now a joint venturer in your business, guess what? The IRS can put a lien on this whole new joint venture business. And that's going to create problems for you. Now it's going to interrupt your ability to generate new revenues for your business. And you may just lose a contract just because of that. So make sure you do your due diligence. When it comes to being a global entrepreneur, you want to be ready, you want to be clean, you want to be fit in every aspect, every area of your business. Entrepreneurship and globalization is really key to our next level of business growth coming 2020. That's really what you want to think of.
Yeah, you really, really do. And I said, because you are digital, you're a lot more likely to come to the attention of many people. So you want to do that, but that's a good thing. And also, Gilbert, I think it's important that people, when you're doing that kind of stuff, that your personalities are very in sync with one another.
Yes.
And how you do business. Are you, because some people have excellent customer service
Yes.
skills,
Yes.
service skills, and others don't
Yes.
have really a bedside manner
That's
that
correct.
fit the public.
Yes.
Knowing how how these people do business will help you decide whether those are the people you take to to interact face to face with your customers,
right.
or they're the ones in the background. Maybe they have. So making sure that you recognize what each other's strengths and weaknesses are, and making sure that they complement you.
And last week, like we did on the show last week, we went over what we call a personality profile, or knowing your personnel. And we went over 4 personality types that exist within the business world and within your personal world. So you really want to know which personality trait really works better with you. And again, the 4 types, you've got the analyzer, the controller, the persuader, and the stabilizer. The analyzer, the controller, the persuader, and the stabilizer. Those are the 4 types. Now, some of those work well together. Like the controller and the analyzer, those 2 work very well together. So what you want to do when you're teaming up with another small business or potential partner is to see which one of them possess those traits. And that's the type of classes that we do here on the Business Zone. Crystal and we can host a class like that for you and your team so that you guys can know exactly, are you able to get along with these people in your organization?
Yeah, that's a good thing, because you get a lot of pushback, and I hear employees all the time, and I've heard this of late. I just can't find the right employees for my business.
Yeah.
And there's a high turnover, which people don't understand. High turnover means more money to you, because
Yes.
you're constantly in a position where you're always training, and you're not reaching, or you're not at your capacity,
because you keep starting over.
You keep starting over, right?
Yeah.
So that's an area that we probably, as entrepreneurs, you really have to look at that. It's not so simple just to all of a sudden kick somebody out after you didn't put years or months into training them. You really want to see, if you can't get them to that place, then hire a consultant that can help you. And then at that point, now you got a set of third eyes that can tell you, this is not a good match for you guys, because we can look on the outside and look on the inside and be able to pinpoint what the actual problems are.
Right.
Because usually it's communication and the different mindsets, right?
That's true.
So hiring somebody, once you reach that place, if you're a small company and you don't have an HR department, then this is something that you really want to invest in. I think it's really important for you to be at your highest level. You want your business to be at its highest level of earning capacity, and you really can't do that if you're always hiring and firing and hiring and firing and hiring and firing and trying to retrain.
And that's really true, and that's how it is. It saves you money if you they say in a marriage, it costs you less to keep her. It's the same thing with your employees. It's going to cost you much less to keep that employee. So you want to find out what type of training programs you can implement and employ within your organization to keep that employee going. Keep them trained, keep them up front. Even yourself can do some training sometimes, which will help you to understand that employee, how they work much better with certain things being exposed to them. So we really want you to think about that, especially when you're thinking about becoming a global entrepreneur. Now, we've been in business for decades, and many of you guys may have been in business for decades as well, but there are certain things that we tend to keep doing over and over that's wrong. We keep doing it over and over. And
waiting for a new outcome.
We're waiting for a new outcome, and we do the same thing. They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. That's what many of our entrepreneurs do. So what we're trying to get you to understand is, if you're involved in a situation where it's repeating, and you're not getting any results out of it, then you got to change course. You got to do something else. Bring in a consultant that can help you.
Yeah, for sure. So you can stop making that. So we got about 5 minutes left. So what I want to do is talk about what the future of the future trends of entrepreneurship looks like. I'm going to. This is from an article that was in Forbes on And this was information that's coming from some of the top entrepreneurs in the country. So the first one is costly overhead now will become a thing of the past. Businesses now have the opportunity to create their businesses online. So brick and mortar stores are not as important or a requirement, which is why a lot of retail stores are closing, because now they can do everything online, and they don't have to have that overhead, and it gives you more flexibility.
Right.
You can do business from anywhere. You're not. I was hearing someone the other day tell me, I was listening to a video, and they were saying their goal was to become location independent. Meaning
I like that.
it doesn't matter where you are.
Right.
And so that's the next one, location independence, meaning that because you're into the digital world or you've digitized and automated your business, you can become a digital nomad.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So you don't have to stay stuck. You could build your revenue up, buy an island somewhere and do business from an island, right? And nobody needs to know. Nobody needs to know where you are.
Right.
Or are you with the cost of living within or housing within the metropolitan cities or urban cities, you can move to San Diego or somewhere that's less costly. Still do business with your clients because you can do your meetings via Zoom. You sell your product on your website online, so you don't have to be locate. You don't have to be local. Your locale don't have to be local. Basically, right. The next thing is limited product entrepreneurship will rise, meaning more products you sell, the larger your market becomes, and you need to commence a widespread marketing drive for your business. Hence, instead of big range products, entrepreneurs will start dealing with only a few interrelated things, and if not only one item, instead of selling multiple product lines, and you can make more money. So you become more of a niche market entrepreneur,
and then you can focus more on that particular area,
right? On that area, and not have to diversify your brain power and all your manpower. The next is the rising speed of technical adoption, meaning you may not like social media, you may not like doing business online, but that's the wave of the future. Technology is here. It's been here. I don't even know why we're resistant now.
Yeah.
It has been here so long, and it should be really no reason why we're resistant to technology. So the rising speed of being able to, and you can do business on your cell phone. You don't have to have computers. You have tablets, so it just makes it easier. This one is one that I've been really focusing on, and I started it this year, so it's going to move on, is focusing on driving revenue. You cannot have just one stream of revenue. You have to really kind of diversify and find out how you can create other streams, because when one stream is not working, you need the other one, and they need to be stair-stepped. They need to stagger each other.
Right.
So if you're seasonal based, you need to make sure that something is going to pick up right on the backside of that season.
Yes.
Young and younger entrepreneurs, which is an area that I focus on. Youth entrepreneurship is the next best thing. And our kids can focus not just locally, they can focus internationally, globally. So that's the next one. Hyper-connected globalism, meaning that you can do business and you should be looking at how you can expand your businesses outside of this country. Canada, South America, Africa, Europe, wherever.
And that's exactly what we're talking about right now, globalizing your business. That's a great, great way for you guys to enhance your revenues.
Yes, exactly. Next is the rise of serial entrepreneurs. You come up with different ideas, and if you got the funding, hey, Gwen, hey, Vincent, if you have the funding to do it, then go ahead and try your hand at some new businesses that might interconnect with your other business. Personalization. Now, this one is big. PR and marketing people tell you need to become more personal with your clients. They need to hear your story. They need to see you. Podcasting is a great way to do that. YouTube Live, Facebook Live. Let your people see the human side of you. They are buying you, not really your product. They're buying you. So let them know who you are. Okay? And there's some cheaper ways in it. Podcasting is a great way, but it might be not quite cost prohibitive for you, but you got a phone. just dial up, open up Facebook Live, and start talking. That's all
right.
you have to do.
That's right.
And YouTube and Twitter and Instagram, you have a platform. You have a camera right there in your hand.
And if you don't want to do your own podcast, what you can do is give us a call here at the Business Zone. We can bring you on this show, and you can market your product and services just by being a guest on our show. We will speak with you about it. We'll ask you questions about your mission and how you reach your clients. And we'll also have this uploaded to YouTube after the show is over. So you guys are going to be reaching millions of people just by reaching us here on the Business Zone. So if you want to give us a call, our number here is 888-882-1168, 888-882-1168. Give us a call. We'll be able to bring you on the show.
All righty, so we're now at the 4 o'clock hour, at the top of the hour. So we have some more. We'll bring some more of them up on next week.
Yes.
When we upload this show, I'll upload the show on YouTube. I'll make sure in the description box we'll put in some of the suggestions that we had.
Oh, yes.
Some of the workshops that are coming up, so that you can go there to the Business Zone YouTube channel and check us out and find out what you need. And we're getting ready to sign off and see you next week. We want you to have a fantastic week. Be safe and focus on your business and grow those revenues.
And keep tuning in to the Business Zone every Friday from 3 to 4. And if you want to, Facebook Live is great. Just keep logging into your Facebook, and you can see us here on the Business Zone, Crystal and I. And we are coaches, and we're consultants as well. We help small businesses to become business ready, contract ready, bank loan ready. Again, phone number is 888-882-1168. Crystal, what's your number?
323-906-7004. And email me at cmitchell544@gmail.com. But actually, if you just go to any of my social media outlets, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, I am all over it all the time.
Thank you guys for watching the show. We really appreciate it. And if you didn't know what this show was, it's called The Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. We're out.
All right.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.